Hey everyone, I hope you're well and welcome to another video where I'm going to talk about my severe depression. Joking. But do you guys also feel so exhausted with everything that's been going on this year and we're only just in March? I don't need to tell you how extremely negative and polarizing recent political events have been. And I don't know about you, but it just really started to affect me quite drastically. I just needed to get away from everything. It was just a bit too much for me. So yeah, I did what everyone would do. I ran away and I fell into a deep rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is called Infinity Nikki. And for someone who loves cozy games and who's also into fashion, this beautiful love child of Genshin Impact, Animal Crossing, and early 2000s dress-up game was a gift sent by the heavens. So let me get into why I love this game so much, why it's literally keeping me sane at the moment, and why you should play it too. So Infinity Nikki is a cozy open-world dress-up game by Paper Games, or Infold Games as they're known outside of China, and it's actually the 5th installment in the Nikki franchise. It's a multi-platform, free-to-play action-adventure game with a gacha system, and for anyone who doesn't know, that's a system similar to Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, where you can use in-game currency to pull from certain banners for a chance of getting rare items, and in Nikki's case, that would be clothing items. Other installments in the franchise include Hello Nikki, Shining Nikki, or Love Nikki, which have been mobile games only. So what makes Infinity Nikki stand out so much? It's the first game in the franchise that is available on multiple platforms such as PC or PlayStation, and it has a huge open world to explore. Think of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Think of rivers, caves, towns, you get the gist. And of course, apart from just walking around, it wouldn't be a cozy game if you couldn't catch bugs or go fishing, sit on a beautiful bench, or take photos with the area in the background. Apart from that, you can also solve puzzles and play mini games, interact with NPCs, and have different type of quest categories to follow the in-game storyline. The main selling point of this game is obviously the dress-up feature, which helps you to succeed in styling battles, to solve quests, or also just for your own entertainment. And you can get clothes from progressing in the story, pulling from the banner, as I said before, or by crafting them. Compared to other free-to-play gacha games, Infinity Nikki is incredibly generous when it comes to the freebies you get. And as of now, at least, it's not as demanding when it comes to the difficulty or complexity of the overall gameplay. In my opinion, this is also the best selling point of this game because it really delivers on its promise of being a cozy game. So a game that's inherently supposed to help you relax and unwind and not to stress you out. And there is also an element of fighting involved, but obviously, even though there are bosses and smaller enemies, none of them are, Dark Souls level. It's supposed to not be stressful for you, and I don't think fighting is the main point of this game. The game itself revolves around Nikki, who found herself stranded in a different world that is involved in some sort of war or conflict. But due to the nature of the game, the war is not actually addressed prominently and is more or less experienced through the lore only. So if you read between the lines, now and then some characters are talking about it, etc. You start by joining a stylist guild, which gives you the ability to craft outfits that give you different types of abilities such as fighting or floating, but also entertaining abilities such as playing an instrument or lighting fireworks. You follow Nikki's journey through this new world and uncover the secret of a certain incident. Despite the lore sounding kind of dark, the game sticks to its lighthearted themes, which is something I usually wouldn't prefer. But in this case, I honestly think the developers made such a great choice for sticking to it and really striking a great balance between the darker aspects of the story and the lighthearted and easy to digest parts of the story. Something that stood out to me from the very beginning is Infinity Nikki's community and the community feeling around the franchise. You've got incredibly active Reddit communities, one official one by the developers and an unofficial one, which is also the bigger one. And you've got a Discord server that's also run by the official developers. Whilst the Discord server is great for getting up-to-date news, the second day release, or participating in official online or Discord events, the unofficial Reddit is by far my favorite. It's such an incredibly wholesome space because people share their fan art, their theories about the story, their outfits. Everyone is so supportive. It's such a different feeling compared to other communities I've seen in the past. Like, negativity, where is it? is amazing. There's actually a fun fact. The Reddit community already has an inside joke. So you can share screenshots and photos in-game of your outfits and characters. And a user used the term gorgeous instead of gorgeous. And it became such a big thing on the Reddit that it even spread to the Discord server and social media. And I just find it so funny how everyone happily hopped onto this trend of making this like the new big thing for the Nikki community. Apart from that, Infold Games also puts an effort to bring the community together IRL with events such as the pop-up event that was held across Europe in different cities such as London. That's the one I attended. And that was a release event where you were able to play the game, take photos, chat to the staff, and even win prizes. And we actually won 2 prizes. We won a Christmas tree decoration of one of the characters, and we won a hat for a cat. But I don't have a cat. Yet. I want cats, please. So how did Nikki actually save me or keep me sane? As I just mentioned, Infinity Nikki is more than just a game. It comes with an incredibly welcoming and friendly community. Since the game mainly targets a female audience, the community is also predominantly female identifying, at least from my experience, and that really makes a difference, especially in gaming communities in general. I don't need to tell you that female identifying gamers often still face some sort of discrimination. Just think of the term gamer girl or the negative association with female streamers. Female gamers are often just not taken as serious, or they're seen as weaker or as pygmies as well. So the fact that Infinity Nikki's community is predominantly female identifying makes the entire experience feel so much more safe from unwanted prejudice, sexualization, or the fear of being put in a box. Apart from that, the Nikki fandom is, in my experience, very, very accepting towards women loving women content. And as a queer person myself, that's such an incredibly nice feeling. From what I know, the Nikki series has been associated with queerness for quite some time now, at least from some part of the community, which has always been quite accepted by everyone. Just have a look at the Reddit yourself and you see all of the creative ways some users position their own characters next to a different character to create really cute couple shots of some lesbian Nikkis, and I find that so cute. This ties into my next point. From my experience, toxic masculinity is something that's just a bit less prevalent in the Infinity Nikki community, at least when it comes to me personally playing the game and interacting with the Reddit. Just from playing the game alone, there is not a single instance where a character is being sexualized or shown in a specific way to please a male audience, and this has been done extremely well. And don't worry, this doesn't mean that all the outfits in the game are very conservative. Actually, quite the opposite. Outfits have stats in the game, and one of the main stats an outfit can have is sexy, and some of the clothes are actually in fact quite revealing or short. The big difference is though, in Infinity Infinity Nikki, clothes are just clothes. It doesn't matter if you dress sexy or if you dress beautiful. You really just do it for yourself, or I guess to solve a quest. But that's also where it ends. Whilst other forms of media might show women dressed in a very revealing or sexy way for eye candy only, that is also backed up by, let's say, a certain camera angle or an action or words that they are being confronted with based on the way they dress, just in order to please a male audience or encourage certain fantasies. This is not the case in Infinity Nikki at all. You really dress up for yourself or for a styling contest or to solve a quest, but that's really where it ends. Nikki is being treated with the same respect regardless of what she's wearing and is not being reduced to eye candy in any form whatsoever. And I think, again, that's such a great balance they strike, because obviously I'm all about wearing what you want. You can dress as sexy as you want or as conservative as you want. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to dress in order to get compliments or to dress for someone else because you want to look attractive for them. That's not the issue at all. But the action always needs to come from the person proactively choosing how they want to present themselves and not being forced into looking a certain way to please a male audience, for example. Okay, so that was a long take. But apart from that, the world itself and how it works is also just so refreshing. By the way, for anyone who's playing Infinity Nikki, I'm not up to date with the story, so please correct me if I'm wrong or things change later on. But at least for now, there are also a lot of female characters in leading roles, characters of different body types, even for their mainly NPCs, and a very refreshing take on what's being seen as a conflict in that universe. So there was one event, for example, where a town organized an event for the town citizens, and the primary task of the police was not only to guard the event, but to actually visit the elderly people in the town that might not be able to go to the event, to make them feel seen, included, and heard. And just for a second, I felt like I lived in my ideal world, where the main concern really was about supporting the most vulnerable in a society. And I love to see that government officials were actually working towards helping the most vulnerable in the society and making them feel included. As I said, it was about support and inclusion rather than segregation or exclusion, which is something that we see a lot in the real world at the moment. And I know this sounds like a stretch, but I was really able to identify with that fake reality just for that moment. Man, I wish if we were all into crafting outfits and cozy games, maybe the real world would be a little bit easier. And as someone who's also into alternative fashion, this also ties in with that point, because you can dress your character in the most flamboyant or extravagant outfit and you're still being treated as a normal human being, which obviously when you dress alternatively, sometimes you are not being treated as such in the real world. So seeing that acceptance in Infinity Nikki is just so beautiful. We really need more empathy and inclusion in our world, and I think this game made a really great stance, showing that empathy and inclusion can help with problem solving and lead to positive outcomes. Okay, that was another deep take, but to get a bit more shallow, Infinity Nikki's world is also incredibly beautiful and aesthetic. The graphics are incredibly beautiful, the gameplay is super fun, the clothes are incredibly creative and beautiful, and I don't know if you had a look yet, but if you really zoom in, you can see the textures and fabric of the clothes, and if you layer clothes on each other, the shape changes as well. Like if you layer a real outfit, like it really changes the shape, and I think that's such a great detail that I really appreciate. Overall, the styling feature and also the camera feature really challenges your creativity as well. You have so many different possibilities of camera angles, lighting, poses. Obviously, your outfit choices are endless, and the game only just released. So in terms of creativity, I think it's a really, really great game. And just in general, the importance on the mundane things is something I find really refreshing and relaxing, such as crafting an entire outfit just to play an instrument for the fun of it. Whilst in other games, you have to grind to craft better gear, to fight a boss. In this game, it is really just about, that's cool. You want to have fun, just do it. Like, you don't need to play an instrument, but isn't it cool if you can play it? That's really it. It's really about like what you want to do and what is fun for you. And I think that's such a cute and lighthearted way of interacting with a game. So if you've made it all the way to here, thank you so much for listening to me yapping. I really, really appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments if you've played Infinity Nikki before, if you want to play it now, if you don't want to play it, and why. To conclude this video, whilst writing it, I actually had an epiphany. And for me, I realized that Infinity Nikki is not only about relaxing and unwinding as a cozy game, but I also realized that for me personally, it has a very strong community message and a message of inclusion, softness, and empathy. And I think with all of the strong and extreme messages that we see in real life at the moment, this is something that really helped me to push through and stay grounded. I strongly believe in kindness and inclusivity, and seeing that to that extent in this game really calmed me down, really helped me and made me understand that segregation and exclusion really isn't what I stand behind. Obviously, I don't want to say that Infinity Nikki has any political association whatsoever. This is really just how I experienced the game and what I interpreted from it, and what really made me fall in love with the game so much. I think it just really gave me that sort of safe feeling that I was really lacking nowadays with conversations and extreme opinions and people being very vocal about certain things in the public in our real world. I'm sure other people playing this game might have a different experience, and that's completely fine. Again, as I said, I don't think the developers ever intended any of the things I said. It really is, as I said, more my interpretation, and I guess the reason I felt quite safe playing this game with the community and the gameplay in general. And to tone down things a little bit, at the end of the day, Infinity Nikki is a very cute and aesthetic gacha dress-up game with a lot of cozy elements that just help you unwind and relax after a long and stressful day at work. And I think that really is what comes down to it. It's just really there for your entertainment, for you to relax, for you to unwind, and that's the beauty of it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed writing it. I really loved this game, and I wanted to share my love for it. It really feels like a safe space for me. So let me know, what is your safe space? What brings you happiness? Do you like gaming? Do you like Infinity Nikki? Do you like other cozy games? I would love to hear you share your thoughts, opinions, tips and tricks. Let's just all be nice together and have a good time. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.